Dynasty players in the house. It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time. I'm your host, Jesse Schneeman, and I'm here with the three best friends anyone could ever have. It's been a while since we were all together, so I got thrown off a little bit. Starting with the auspicious Austin Bell. How you doing tonight, Austin?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm great. It is actually nighttime now. We're doing a Sunday thing. So I never know what time it is when we do a Sunday thing, but it is nighttime on the East Coast. I'm wonderful. Are you? Is it a playoff basketball game that you have tonight?
Nah, just another season game.
Season game. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. We're gonna try and be
Thank you.
concise for you, so you can get as much in before you gotta go.
A season game. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not even more important than a season game.
Nah, I gotta stay undefeated, man.
Damn, man. I thought this was the final or something.
No.
I was like, tough choice. Final Sunday pod.
Sunday pod's first. I'm here.
Okay.
That's the voice of my main man, Chad Mendoza. How you doing tonight, Chad?
I'm good, man. Before I heard the catastrophic news that Austin was going to be leaving us early. But yeah, no. Other than that, I'm glad to be here.
All right, grab yourself a tissue while I intro Major Mike Casper. How you doing tonight, Mike?
I am surviving. I'm coughing. I'm whatever my kids got, I got. So just trying to survive the weekend.
Wow. All right. Well, you already did your job hosting the prospect profile. Thank you for powering through that. All right, Mike. Are you healthy enough to tell people where they can find us when we're not podcasting?
Absolutely. Catch us at YouTube and Facebook at Dynasty Front Office, Twitter, X at Front Office FF. We'll be bringing you podcasts and videos all off season, Trade Bangers 2026 rookie profiles, and our weekly show. Please like and subscribe. Link to join the Discord is in the show notes and become part of the family. In this episode, we'll be bringing you
The answer was no. He's not well enough to intro.
I almost made it. I call it KTC Agree to Disagree.
All right, well, we're calling this KTC Agree to Disagree. It's Market Inefficiencies in Dynasty Fantasy Football. We took a look through Keep Trade Cut, KTC. Sure, everybody's familiar with them. This is not to pick on that site. This is not what we're doing. We chose them because they're a solid representation of what consensus is right now. So we want to basically argue consensus, players that we think should be higher or lower. And that's what we're doing tonight.
Yeah. You only make money if you disagree and are right.
There you go. Austin, why don't you lead it off?
All right. I'm gonna start at the quarterback position. I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold being QB. Where'd he go? Oh my gosh, QB 18. It feels like that's too low. Might be a little bit of recency bias, but it's also the production 2 years in a row that we've seen at him at two different spots. It's pretty enticing for a guy that's not 30 yet. He's behind Cam Ward, Dak Prescott, C.J. Stroud. Just easily those names feel like he should be above. So if you're telling me that, I think it looks like his rough pick value on here would be like the 104, 105. And if I really need a quarterback and I can't get up to Mendoza, Sam Darnold for that 105 feels like a solid pick.
You think I can get Sam Darnold for 105?
Maybe. I mean, we kind of discussed this previously, is if you can't get to Mendoza and you need quarterback, you're going to have to get creative. There's only be so many avenues to find a quarterback that's going to be good enough for you to feel like you can start at least in the QB2 slot, and I think Darnold is that.
All right, Mike, we just spent some time educating you on Mekhi Lemon. Would you rather have him or Sam Darnold?
I mean, if I need a quarterback, definitely Sam Darnold.
How about in a startup?
I mean, it depends where I'm at in the startup.
Need a quarterback.
I'm taking Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Okay.
I always like to have a really solid QB 1 and 2 before I fill out any other parts of my roster. So you can't get much worse than having Darnold. He's most likely a QB 2 there.
So that's where we're at with Darnold, huh? Solid QB2.
Yeah, man. I think he's right in that same mold with Goff, Dak. and I think I would prefer him over both of them. But
Same.
he's the younger version of him. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
How old is Darnold now? 27?
Almost 29, so he'll be 29
Oh.
when the season starts.
Okay. That's a little different.
I think now's the
Dak's
I think-
33. Golf's going to be 32 this coming season, so it's still 3 years minimum.
I was gonna say, just I feel like now's kind of the time to get Darnold too, because I feel like he could go up this offseason, but he did lose his coordinator. Obviously, wasn't great in the Super Bowl, so I think that you might have an easier chance of getting him from the owner than you might think, considering he's like the Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Well, yeah, and he didn't
most
play
cases, drives him up.
extremely well in the Super Bowl, and it's not like he lit
Yeah.
the world on fire. So
Yeah, no, he played great against the Rams, but that was the game before that, so that's not the
Yeah.
one you remember, right?
exactly, and
Definitely
that's the thing.
doable.
Like we're saying, like, solid QB2, but I mean, really, he's one of those QB2s that's capable of giving you QB1 numbers. Like in season, he could be your QB1, depending on who you have. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, those are the guys you want in your QB2 slot. They don't cost the same price point as the guys we view as surefire QB1s, but they can still give you that QB1 production.
I was paying late first and a late second for him in season last year, and I feel like you guys told me that was high. That was
No,
paying too much.
no, I didn't.
I think
we
we
didn't tell
all
you that.
told you to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
traded that. You made that trade with me, and
Oh, that's
at
right.
at the time, I told you like I wouldn't have taken anything less than that.
Okay.
And now I actually regret that trade. I would take it back if I could.
It's funny I was looking at that team the other day, and I don't even really need him because of the way it shook out with that team. Trevor took off. Shuck is a viable third quarterback, but I'm insulated, so I'm happy to have him. I mean, I'd still rather have him than my one. I think I finished second in that league, so 111 and 211. I'd rather have Darnold.
Yeah, 205, but yeah,
Okay.
somebody else's second.
Okay, that's cool. All right, Chad, you're up.
Yeah, so mine is I guess we're gonna stick with the Seahawks here. We're just gonna talk about the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
just do those
One team.
Seahawks. Hey, they're
Anyways,
hot right now, so why not?
Yeah, Kenneth Walker is mine, and that has nothing to do with this MVP thing. I think a lot of people are going to be listening to this.
Yes,
and
it
say,
does.
Well, it's recency bias. MVP. This is a guy we've talked about. For going on a few months now. It's all about him being a free agent. That is all it is. He is gonna, even if he stays with the Seahawks, I just don't see a world in which they can convince themselves that the time split that they've been giving him up until now makes any sense with the contract that he's going to demand. And yeah, some of that does come with the MVP award that he was given now too, but it's just the quality of player he is. Like, somebody is going to pay him an astronomical amount of money for a running back
To lead the backfield, so Seattle has to do the same. They cannot keep giving him 40% of the snaps. They just can't do that.
Exactly.
And that's been the problem. That and injury.
Yeah, if Kenneth Walker sits in a negotiating room with the GM, and as good as that GM is, if he sits there with him and he says, "Yeah, I'll give you all the money in the world for the running back position, but your role is more or less the same," I just don't see Kenneth Walker taking that deal. Where there's going to be at least 10, 15 other teams that he is a dead set upgrade for them, like obvious upgrade. And then there's probably 5-10 more teams that you can, or 5 to 10 more teams that you can kind of make an argument for that he's an upgrade, a clear upgrade. So I just love the position he's in, especially coming off the dominating performances that he's had. I think he's one of the more talented backs in the league. And he's running back, I guess we should have mentioned this,
17.
RB17, which is crazy.
That is crazy. I don't see a realistic chance of him leaving the Seahawks because we talked about the RB franchise tag is 14 mil. So they're the sixth most cap space. They have 67 million. So they're either going to pay him long term. When I say long term, probably 3 years at a good rate, or they're going to franchise him. I don't see him leaving. And with Sharps with the torn ACL, if if you're paying a running back that kind of money, you're not drafting one to get significant touches. You know, they might draft a guy in case Charbs isn't ready, which is a good chance, but they're not. You know, they're not going to prioritize that player. That'll be a day 3 pick.
And that's the thing. Like, that's what we're saying. If they franchise him, the only players making more money than him at the running back position are Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, and Derrick Henry. The only 3 players.
Yeah, they'll be giving him the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point, Chad, and you have been talking about this for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Probably
I do
too late to
think
buy
he
him
can.
now, though.
Yeah, I was going to say I think
Might be the
Keep
worst
Trade
time.
Cut hasn't caught up yet. He is the number 1 riser on the website in the past 30 days. I have a feeling that just hasn't caught up to him. So, you know, it's at 17, he's definitely a buy, and I think we're saying you would take him above Saquon, Kyron, Scat. That's correct.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what about Chase Brown?
Yes.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, see, I think I would take Brown. What about CMC?
I think
Yes.
I
Okay.
think I would take Walker unless I either won the championship or came in second, and I have CMC. Then I'm holding him.
You guys know I was crazy about Chase Brown this past season, but I just think Kenneth Walker is a much more talented player with a far limited, percentage of the opportunity in that offense, and that's what I think changes. So if I didn't have him above Chase Brown, there's something just not working there.
What if they both get a similar deal this offseason? I think Walker now is going to earn himself more money, but let's say they both get that 10 to 13 million a year this offseason. Does that change it for you for Brown, or is it still Walker?
It's opportunity, right? Like, Chase Brown is getting the opportunity. And he's in a really good offense. I think Seattle's a really good offense. He's just not getting the opportunity. Talking about Walker, I think Walker's a significantly better player than Chase Brown is. That's just how I
agreed.
see them.
That's fair.
Agreed, and I think Chase Brown's likelier to get in the 6 to 9 million a year range.
Oh, I think he'll get more than that. I think he'll get more than that.
10
But
plus, yeah.
Bengals have a lot of cap room, but they're notoriously cheap, and they have that Trey Hendricks. Oh no, Trey Hendrickson already got
He's
paid.
a free
Right?
agent. No,
Is
he's
he?
a free agent.
Oh, he's a
like
free
a
agent.
full UDFA
Oh my God, how did they let that happen?
because they're idiots.
They're the Bengals. They're cheap.
I don't see a world unless Seattle makes promises to Kenneth Walker that are outside of the contract, like saying, this is what your opportunity is going to be like here going forward. I don't see a world where they can get by without paying him $15 million a year.
I don't think that would be smart on their part, personally. But
I don't
that's
either.
A different,
but
that's a
I
different
think
discussion.
I think that's what he's going to be seeing outside. I think
Yeah,
they're going to
I
say
think
we have to
somebody
either
will.
franchise him or he's going to walk because
Yeah.
if they don't pay him that kind of contract, because that's roughly going to be where what Christian McCaffrey's making 19 mil a year.
Yeah.
So he's going to want to be somewhere close to that. I think 15 is about where Derrick Henry is, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure, but I think Derrick Henry's around that number. I looked at it earlier, but yeah, I mean, I think
Henry's
top
at 15. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly 15. And then JT's at 14.
Yeah, so I think 15 around that number is going to be probably where it ends up.
I mean, the cap's going up another 20 to 25 million this year.
No,
Teams
it's
have
15, I think.
I just saw the
14.
projection at 30.
I thought they announced it. I thought it was 15.
I don't think it's been announced. It's 302
Oh.
to 305 projected
Okay.
by Spotrac right now. So, yeah, it's they've record bleh. the money coming in went up this year, so it's not a problem. The financials in the NFL are very healthy. I don't think it'll be a problem really to pay him that money. And when you look at a 3-year deal at 15 million, with probably having it out in the third year to save, 8 to 10 million of that, or 6 to 10 million of that, I really don't think that's even a big deal. It's not that much.
No, I mean, it's smart. If he'll sign a 3-year, $44 million contract with 28 to 30 guaranteed, That's smart on Seattle's part because you're paying
Yeah.
14 of that with a franchise year
With
one.
his injury history, any agent that lets him walk out with that contract though is an idiot.
I
That's
agree
not gonna happen.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm saying is I think it's going to be a little more complex. I think they do tag him. I think that's what we'll see, and I think that's
Yeah.
smart from Seattle's standpoint as well. Prove to us that you can play a healthy year as the main guy, and we'll give you a big contract.
You know what though? As a dynasty player, I'm actually not mad if they tag him
No.
because one, you know, he's getting paid that 14 million a year, which is a significant amount of money for running back. Again, that's what RB4.
It would be
You said Derrick Henry's at 15.
Taylor's at 14, so yeah, it's going to be RB4.
Yeah, so RB4, he'll be at RB4, so that'll demand a certain amount of snap share. You know, if Seattle is doing any kind of logical, you know, game planning here. And then after the season, right? And the other thing too is like if they franchise him, they should be testing him during that franchise and saying,
Yeah.
can you stay healthy
Using the heck
with
out
a
of him.
workload? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's going to demand the carries too. You're going to be able to hold on to him during that. And then next offseason, we're in the same position here where, you know, you could potentially see another value increase because he's given the snap share. And then also he has that potential looming contract up again. So
franchise tag might be the best case scenario because they probably will just work the hell out of him at that point.
Yeah, that may be the best scenario for
Yeah.
a dynasty, you know, perspective.
Yeah, the only thing that could do that is injury, right? And you'll never know that. So
Yeah, which you
Right.
can't play.
mean,
That can happen with any player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if
Oh,
he gets a crazy contract with anybody and gets hurt, that could. You know,
well, I mean, if he's
kill it.
franchise tag and then has an injury, then he could have no value at the end of the years. What I was going for.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, who's your guy?
All right, so mine was Mecca Buka. So he's listed as the wide receiver 12, and he's above the likes of Rashi Rice, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Lab McConkey, Rome Odunze, Marvin Harrison Jr. All of those guys that I named, I would rather, I think, have.
Yeah.
And I don't even like all those guys. Just, I mean, I think a lot of this has to do with people just think Mike Evans is automatically gone, but that hasn't even happened yet. And so I feel like it's quite a bit of projecting. I know he started the year off hot, but I think a lot of it was touchdown stuff. And when everybody was healthy in that offense, he really didn't do much of anything. It's, you know, kind of like you guys talked about in his rookie profile last year. We kind of knew what kind of player he was, and I don't think he's as elite as some of these guys are. I mean, geez Louise, Olave is like the clear-cut number one in his offense. Like Garrett Wilson, too. Gosh, if I could get plus and any of those guys for Igbuka, I'd move him right now.
I think Rome is an interesting discussion.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Ladd and Rome are both right in that same tier for me as Igbuka. I think both are better players.
Yeah.
I think their productions could be very similar if Evans leaves.
I just think that Chargers offense is going to take off this year.
Yeah, I mean, Ladd's like wide receiver 15, though. That's like 4 spots down. It's just, I don't know. It just seemed like it'd be closer, especially with the McDaniel bump almost, I feel like would make
Here's my
Ladd more
bold
enticing.
prediction. Ladd is like a top 8 receiver next year, and Quentin Johnson's top 15.
Ooh, well, you need to. There's your guy for this list, then.
There you go.
That'd be something. I mean, I'm just going to go back to the stat that we've talked about time and time again. Egbuka, for as much opportunity as he was given this past season, he's had 4 games above 4 receptions.
That's crazy.
So,
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, we're going to have to see a significantly different, production, outcome from the targets that he's receiving, because the targets were always there. It's just, the inefficiencies were outstanding.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird because in college he had good hands. That was like one thing. He was so reliable.
Yeah.
He wasn't an explosive player, but he was reliable. And like in the first year in the NFL, it was like the opposite. Like he was an explosive player, but he wasn't reliable when the target share came to him.
Would you guys rather have Egbuka or Kenneth Walker?
I mean, if it's a start 2 running back league, I'd take
It's a good
take
question.
Walker. But I think there's a decent amount of people that would give you a plus on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd almost want Ibuka just to be able to trade him. If this is
Yeah.
what he's really valued at.
He was going for so much when he was in that hot streak.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to sell him too, and I couldn't.
I just didn't end up with. I didn't have any shares.
I didn't have
never
any
had
shares
one.
to sell them. Nope.
Yeah.
I had one, just one.
Yeah, the explosive plays were in the beginning of the year were absolutely crazy, but
Yeah.
I mean it was difficult to see that being maintained over the course of the season, and that did hold true. It's not something that can be sustained.
Great.
And we've seen that with guys a little bit more talented, in my opinion, too, like Jamison Williams, right? Like even during his best parts of his career when he's super healthy, it's just the consistency factor. I didn't expect Ibuka to be that kind of player, but that's just what we saw this past year.
Yeah, a lot of target competition with him. Same with Jamison Williams, actually.
Yeah.
It's just the Bucks aren't nearly as efficient as the Lions, so they're in different
another OC change
categories
too.
for me.
So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
It's going to be interesting too.
So it could be good news for Ibuka. It could not be. We don't know. I mean, they're going to use Jalen McMillan. That was obvious when he came back healthy. He was seeing the field. So
Yeah.
it's a crowded room.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Lions.
Nope.
There's another OC change
But
there
yeah,
as
that
well.
too.
Yeah,
But this is
exactly.
4
Yeah.
years in a row for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was probably the worst one of the lot as far
Yeah.
as what happened last
Yeah,
season.
he didn't get rehired for a different reason.
Yeah.
Who, Grizzard?
Yeah.
He did. He's the Eagles' new passing game coordinator.
Yeah, that's a downgrade.
That's a downgrade.
That's not a
Yeah,
that's
it
not a
is.
rehire up.
It's true.
That's not why the Bucks had lost previous OCs.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll go next.
Yeah. You have another one?
I do. I have one more. We had talked about it about a month or two ago, but Jalen Hurts at QB10 just feels off with given the production we've seen. Now, this offseason hasn't started to the likings of what I would want for my Jalen Hurts shares. I'm not quite as thrilled on that aspect, and if he loses A.J. Brown, 10 might be his ceiling.
I got you, Austin.
I'm sure you do.
I-
I'm sure you do.
I have a ray of sunshine for you, but go on.
Yeah, just 10 feels like a floor here. Like if you're telling me I can get plus on Jackson Dart or Justin Herbert or Caleb Williams, like I'm probably going to do that for all three of those guys.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is like fear of the tush push being banned, but I mean, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong. Like they stopped using the tush push quite a
They-
bit too, right? So
They stopped doing it altogether.
yeah, so I don't know where the fear kind of comes from. Like, the one thing I am kind of is does he not want to run anymore? Because it seemed like that's what
Yeah,
the end
that's
of
a
the year
worry.
looked
And
like. Is that he just doesn't want to run anymore? Like, which I get it, longevity, but that
There
would really
weren't
hurt his fantasy appeal.
there were one or two called design runs, per game at best. And that only came at the end of the year. It wasn't part of the offense.
It's just all OC. Hopefully,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to tell
yeah,
because quarterbacks are always so tied to what the offense is and what quarterbacks' preferences are, and we won't know that because coaches won't say it and quarterbacks won't say it. But I really do think it's part of the offense. So that the offense is getting a complete and total restructure. Every asset or every aspect of the offense is changing. They brought in Sean Mannion, who played for, I guess, KOC and McVay and coached under McVay and is going to run that system. So
I'm going to be honest. Jalen Hurts in a KOC offense scares the living crap out of me, considering it's a timing-based offense. And I
yeah,
feel like that's what he struggles on more than anything in the NFL is reading the plays on time.
yeah. But the other thing is it's a really quarterback friendly offense where
That is true.
it's highly designed. You're going to have a lot of free and open reads. And really, I think it's all of these in vogue offenses now are different types of fancy West Coast offenses, right? So it doesn't have to be timing slants and quick in breakers and the stuff that Hurts isn't good at. There are plenty of other concepts within that offense that he is good at. So they're just, I think, really what you can say is that these coaches in this tree are good at adapting the offense to what their players are good at.
As somebody who owns a Jalen Hurts share, I would just like uh, an offensive mind who's good at telling Jalen Hurts he needs to run the ball more.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's going to be a huge part of it. You're going to see RPOs and Jalen Hurts running. I did not see maybe once or twice all year last year an RPO.
Well, there
Which is
was a
pretty
lot of
crazy.
reporting that Jalen Hurts was a big part of that, where he was saying he just is not doing that anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, there was a ton of it with Kellen Moore and a Super Bowl winning offense. So if
Yeah.
I just don't think that Jalen Hurts is that type of person. I think throughout his career he's adapted and changed so much that I don't think that he would put his foot down and say, "No, I'm not going to do this thing that works." I, I I'm not saying that there wasn't reporting. I just don't know how accurate it was.
So I'm the one that brought him up and said 10 is too low. But I will say losing Jeff Stoutland, the O-line coach, possibly losing Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson, all this is not good news for Jalen Hurts.
No, it's pretty scary.
So I hope that he can figure it out. But just with the fantasy production we've seen in his entire career, basically, 10 just feels too low.
If you look at the remaining talent, though, even without those people on this offense, an average OC could make Jalen Hurts put up elite fantasy numbers.
Yeah, as long as the line can hold up. I mean, that's no. I mean, as we saw with Justin Herbert, I mean, I think we all think he's a top end talent. When the O line falls apart, the quarterback can't succeed.
And there are no guarantees that it can be fixed in an off season. But
Exactly.
if you're going to give anyone that task, you're going to give it to Howie Roseman. You know what I mean? If anybody can do it, he can. There's just no guarantees.
Yeah, it's just hard to do in 1 year.
Yeah, it's a little, I agree. It's a little scary, yeah, to get guys to gel, to make sure, to even know that you have the right guys.
Chad, as the anti-Eagles guy, I want to ask you, where are you at with
Wow.
I'm gonna start with Dart and Hurts. Like, how do you view them in a startup? Where are you going?
So let me start by saying I'm not the anti-Eagles guy. I don't like the Eagles, but
No, you are, but
I
that's
concede
okay.
that they are. I concede that they have been the best run franchise in the NFC for quite a while now.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I like
In everyone's
every aspect of that team. What they were able to do on defense last season was amazing. I just think that Jalen Hurts is one of the weakest parts of that offense from a talent perspective. I just don't think he's that good of a player. That's always been my knock on him. I think he's in a phenomenal situation because Howie Roseman has done so well in that offense as far as putting an offense together that suits him as a player. I don't think they've really asked him to do a lot other than what he does really well. But they're going to need to bring somebody in that demands that he does that one thing he does really well, that he does it, right? And that's run the football. So I think, personally, if we don't see an uptick in the rushing part of his game this coming season, I want nothing to do with him. And I want nothing to do with that offense until they make a change. But if they get back to it, I mean, I'd be happy to pay QB10 prices for Jalen Hurts. As far as Dart goes, I think there's obvious. I don't even want to say there's more risk. There's more risk in the fact that we've seen significantly less from Dart. But with Dart, we know the rushing upside is there as well, so that kind of raises his floor by quite a bit. But it's risky for two very different reasons because we know the production's there from Hurts. It's just what's that offense has been going through is something I've never seen before. There's so many internal kind of weird things going on with that offense. What's Nick Sirianni's role in it versus the guys they're bringing in, right? Especially with the younger OC being brought in. Is he going to be given full control? We know Nick Sirianni's not really one that likes to give over full control, especially of offense. So I don't know. I'm waiting I'm willing to wait it out on him for a while and say, okay, what does it look like coming into this year? But if I can trade away Jalen Hurts and get better than QB10 and get to where he was a little bit, last season, that QB4, QB5 range, I would love that right now. But if I can buy at QB10, I do that as well.
So I'm really, really convinced that A.J. Brown is staying at this point. Y'all saw his latest comments, right?
Nope.
I forget whose podcast he was on. Another player's podcast. And basically talking up the OC change. Talking like, I think he said Philly's home. Just talking like he's going to be here and there's no question. Denied that he requested a trade and said basically change is a good thing. He said change is not always a bad thing, and I think he's excited for the new offense. And what I'm hearing from the beat writers is that a meeting was had at the end of the year with A.J. Brown. They sat down once they hired the new offensive staff and said, listen, this is our vision for you in this offense. You're our best player. We're going to use you as such, and this is your opportunity to eat. Either that or we trade you, and we're going to want a second-round pick or more. So it's probably not realistic, and I think he's on board.
Interesting. Yeah, it's so, even that part of the whole, everything with the Eagles offense is so confusing to me, because even that part's confusing. A.J. Brown was Petula's biggest defender in during the season. Like, he was the only guy that would vocally come out and defend Petula.
And he said great things about Petulo in that interview as well.
Yeah, so it's just weird to me. Like, that whole thing is so weird.
He's so weird.
Interesting.
He is just a different person. He's
the star wide receiver, man. That's what we see.
I don't know, man.
It's their attitude. It's their persona.
He's called 2 Chainz, but he's got more on. He's different.
Yeah. But imagine him in that situation this season with an offensive coordinator that he doesn't know and doesn't meet the expectations that he had coming into the season. Like, let's say that, that whole situation with the Eagles offense happens next year, but he doesn't particularly like the offensive coordinator like he did with Petula. I mean, it could get real nasty, right? Like, it's gonna be interesting.
It's definitely the most volatile situation in the NFL. Like, they're either gonna hunt for a Super Bowl,
watched,
or it's gonna be blown up
for sure. Yeah.
It could go either way. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm optimistic.
Which is really scary given how many fantasy viable pieces there are on there. Like, it's really scary that so much of high-end production teeters on what happens in this single, realistically, probably 4 to 6 game window when the season starts. And we got to hope it's good.
I believe I'm going to be targeting Devontae Smith with my late.
Yes, I agree. And I haven't been the biggest Devontae Smith as a dynasty asset advocate, but I think in these kind of situations where the risk is so high, but the reward is also really high, you kind of want to hunt the low hanging fruit with the guys that maybe don't cost as much, but you could get that significant upside with, and just vacate every share of the high valued players before you actually are tested here. So that's, for me, is Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Chad, do you have another one, or Mike?
I gotta go, guys.
All right, Austin, thanks for joining us.
Late, but yeah, of course.
Right,
thanks, guys.
See you next week.
See ya.
Yeah, we got the last one just here and talk to us by Luther Burden.
Oh,
Wide receiver
Burden.
20 ahead of the likes of T. Higgins, Jameson Williams, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle.
Oh, I wish Austin was here for this one.
I know, I kind of do too.
I would take all those guys over Burden in a heartbeat. So yeah, it sucks because Chad and I are on the same side of this. We've come out. I think we've both said that. Yes, he's a high level prospect that flashed, but to put him in the category of those receivers that have already produced wide receiver, like a lot of those receivers have wide receiver 1 years in their resumes, and all of those guys are at least, if not more talented than Luther Burden. So it's just it's a case of hype. It's the way he ended the year. We just said it about Egbuka. Or no, we didn't say it. I heard it on maybe it was Zachary Sin's podcast. If Egbuka ended the year the way he started the year, we would be talking about him as like
As
one
the
of
loser
these.
burden of the.
Yeah, which is way higher, right? He would probably be in wide receiver one territory at this point. So
The one I could really argue with, I feel like, is Jamison Williams. I mean, considering upside and age, and
age. How old is Jamison Williams? 25.
Yeah, and
24.
Luther Burden's 22.
24.
Yeah,
Okay,
Jameson Williams 24.
24. Yeah, he was young coming out.
Burden's 22.
Yeah, and Jameson Williams is coming off of a wide receiver 10 finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
I mean, the only one I would really argue is Waddle.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say Waddle. I could also see taking him ahead of just because you know what's going on there. He's much.
But I would
older.
I would still want Waddle personally.
Yeah.
As the low guy in the universe on Burden. I know that.
Luther Burden's interesting because I think it does have a lot to do with the the hype like you were mentioning, Jesse. But the talent's obviously there. It's just what is that offense going to be next season? Is
Yeah.
who's going to be their leading wide receiver? We have so many different options in that offense. Rome Odunze, I don't think we're seeing the best of him yet. Colston Loveland, we're definitely not seeing the best of him yet, and he's already emerging. You could even argue very much so emerging ahead of Luther Burden. Actually, I don't even think it's an argument. I think it's pretty obvious. Colston Loveland looks like the most talented player in that offense, including Caleb Williams, in my opinion. But Luther Burden, he did have flashes. I just don't see the flashes that everybody else sees. I don't see the consistent flashing. He has some really interesting games, right? Like I think it was the San Francisco game. He looked really, really good. But we saw way too few of those. I mean, late in the year, he had one game over 100 yards, and he had one earlier on in the season. I don't remember who it was against, but that's two games in an entire year. It's not like he wasn't given an opportunity to perform. In the postseason, he didn't exactly show out either. Both his games were under 50 yards. No touchdowns to be had. So I'm not seeing it. I do believe the talent is there to be a decently contributing fantasy asset, but until I see a little bit more, I'm not putting him in that tier personally.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the hype of DJ Moore being gone, right? Too, again, like kind of what we were talking about at Buka. But I think those two should be closer together than some of the other guys we've been saying that are behind them. So
the metrics are really good on Burden. That's where the flashes are coming from.
Yeah, the advanced metrics and stuff.
2.8 yards per route run for receivers that ran at least 200 routes is third in the league behind only Pugas and JSN. So that's, I think, where a lot of this is being fueled. I'm not making an argument for it with that. I'm just saying that's, I think, where some of this is coming from.
Yeah.
We're not even guaranteed that DJ Moore is leaving that team. There is no out in his contract, so he's not being cut. So we have to rely on a trade. We don't know that that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a bad thing to rely on.
Right, exactly. So there's a good chance that even DJ Moore is there, and it's even muddier.
Yeah, then it makes this valuation really bad.
Right, and we know that DeAndre Swift moves on every couple of years from every team he's with. So if he moves on, who's to say they don't bring someone in that's more talented and demands more touches?
Yeah,
Agreed.
I would be
too much.
I'd be more excited about him if the offense wasn't so congested. If Loveland and Rome Odunze weren't there, then I think you could look at those metrics and say, okay, like this is maybe a guy that's we're going to see a breakthrough coming in the next season, but there's just so many variables there. Like Rome Odunze is a very, very talented football player. Colston Loveland, I think, is going to have another step to take here, and I personally, I mean, I can't say it enough. What he was able to do last year as a receiver, Colston Loveland was very, very, very impressive.
I'm struggling with him and Warren at the tight end 3 spot.
Me too. And you guys know how much I love Warren. I am too.
Yep.
I mean, it's tough, man. That debate, like, I think overall Warren is probably a better player, but Loveland is probably a better receiver and is in a better offense with a more
Yeah,
established
that's good.
quarterback.
Yeah, you got to take into account quarterback and play caller. And I agree, even though, like, as Loveland was having his hype, I'm like, oh, man, everyone. I said it in our Discord. I was like, oh, man, everyone's going to forget Warren and what he did. But, I mean, it's kind of warranted when he.
But they're neck
as a
they're
crappy
neck and
quarterback.
neck, and either of those guys, either of those guys could finish next season as tight end 1.
I mean, let's put it this way: if Warren doubles his targets next season, he had somewhere around 80 targets. If he doubles that next season, I wouldn't be shocked.
That's a lot.
Well, I mean, somewhere around there. Like if he's at 140,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked. And that is a lot, but that's tight end 1 numbers. Like that's what you need to get tight end 1.
Right.
I mean, that's where like, you know, Brock Bowers is. That's where Trey McBride is. That's where those guys historically in their best seasons, that's where they've been. I think Colson Loveland is as a receiver capable of that. And that's my biggest drawback for Luther Burden is, like, yeah, as nice as the advanced metrics and stuff are to have, like, there's other players there that can and could, I mean, very well could take step forwards, just as much as he can, if not,
And will,
you know,
yeah,
probably
and
more
will,
likely to do it.
And will absolutely demand targets.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, is that everybody?
That's it.
So we're saying sell Luther Burden for a late first.
I don't know that I'm saying that.
Well, I'm sorry.
No.
We could probably get more.
Yeah,
Sell
you
Luther
probably
Burden for a mid first.
Mid first, I would say.
Yeah, I would sell him for a mid first. If I could get any one of the 3 top receivers in this class for Luther Burden, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, in a heartbeat. I would probably even do it for like 106, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's where I'd have to think a little bit about what my roster looks like. And
I would definitely do it personally, because I know that I can flip that pick for someone I like more than Burden.
yeah, and I think the other variable there is I kind of want to see how the draft class works itself out in the NFL draft before moving for that, you know, 8, 9, 10 kind of range. But
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, if we get 6 wide receivers in the first round of the NFL draft, it changes things about.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Any other players?
No, that's it.
All right. That's it. We're in overtime. Mike, you wanted to talk Super Bowl commercials. What was your favorite?
I'm trying to think now.
This
I
was
actually
your
didn't-
topic. Do you want me to go first?
I didn't write it down. Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I had 2. I'll tell you my first one was the Jurassic Park one. Did you see that?
That was a good one.
So Samuel turns around and he's like, there's a problem. And then they just boot up the Xfinity. Basically, if Xfinity was there, there would have been no issues at Jurassic Park. And they would have had a lovely time. It would have been a wonderful trip. And that one scientist guy would have endorsed the park wholeheartedly. I thought it was pretty good.
That was a good
My bad,
one.
guys.
Yeah,
I literally
really
don't
liked that one.
remember any of the Super Bowl commercials.
That's all right.
No, I'm not gonna lie. There were a lot of it. It was a lot of like tech commercials and things like that. I know one that I thought was good was the Pepsi one where they had the Coke polar bear, because I totally remember.
Oh,
yeah.
I do remember that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a
Kid.
good one.
And I was like, dang, that's bold. That's gonna cost
Yeah,
some.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Pepsi and Coke be hating on each other after this one. So that was one where I was like, oh man.
Of course,
Yeah.
I like the one with the eagle in it.
Of course.
There was a Philadelphia
course.
Eagle. Do you know who it was?
No, I didn't. I don't remember seeing it.
It was Lincoln, the eagle, the actual the eagle that flies around the stadium before the game.
Oh,
He was in a commercial with one of the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that was technically my favorite.
I just don't think, and I didn't see all of them, but I tried, you know, during several commercial breaks to watch some commercials. I don't remember being impressed by it really much, to be honest. I thought previous years have been quite a bit better.
Did you guys? Let's talk about the halftime show then. Did you watch it? The
Yeah,
Bad
I
Bunny.
watched it.
Yeah. Saying. Well, I actually intently
I was on my
watched it.
phone during it, but I watched. Some
I
of it.
intently watched it
Yeah,
because it
watched
was so like well choreographed and the camera work was like kept
Yeah.
me drawn into it.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was cool. I mean, I'm
I liked it.
I'm half Puerto Rican, so
Oh, okay.
you know that part of me really enjoyed it.
Oh, right on. That's cool.
You know, I had a lot of odes to Puerto Rico, which is really cool. So, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of references to Puerto Rico. Mike, you liked it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. Yeah, I think all the hate and stuff is kind of ridiculous.
Oh my goodness, I don't even want to talk.
Yeah.
I don't
Standard
even want
America
to.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm just like I don't know. I could care less. who
No, it's
performs.
not
Like,
even.
most
it's
of the
not even
time.
a talking point.
Just most of the time, the halftime show is a decent performance. So like,
Yeah. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. I'm not a huge reggaeton fan personally, but so like I'm not a huge Bad Bunny fan. It's obviously for younger people than me, but I liked it. It drew, like I said, it drew me in. The choreography. I liked the specific songs that he picked. Were really good, and those people really got married, which I thought was awesome.
yeah.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was an
nice.
actual. That was an actual wedding ceremony.
Yeah, it
the
had lots of
halftime
good
show,
little
yeah.
Easter eggs in it and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah, and there were
Cool.
it was I saw an interview with the guy that got married. I saw the end part of it, but he runs some sort of like cafe or shop where he makes food, some kind of food that Bad Bunny loves, and goes in there. And one day he went in and he's like, "Hey man, I'm picking you to get married at my halftime show," and the guy was like blown away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I guess the only thing I could say negative about it is I saw it without the music behind it. Someone sent me with just the words, and those aren't words, even in Spanish. Bad Bunny, the way he is, he's anyway. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of ad libbing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. It seemed like he was out of breath. There was a lot of
He was
walking
moving the
he
whole
did.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Didn't they
was.
say he walked further than the Patriots running backs in the Super Bowl or something like that? I'm pretty sure it was a stat I
That's
saw.
awesome.
Yeah, it looked really. That's the one thing I did pull from the from the Bad Bunny
Get your cardio up.
performances. Yeah, he had quite the workout.
He's in good shape. The cameos were cool too. I like Gaga, and Ricky Martin he sang his butt off, man.
Oh, Ricky Martin. Yeah, that was
I know. I
crazy.
said that was Ricky Martin. My wife didn't believe me. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that's
No, that
him.
was Ricky Martin.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Ricky
He was,
Martin.
he was looking good. All right. Well, so Chad, did you watch anything good this week?
Oh man, I am so excited to watch the next episode of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms that comes out tonight.
When does that come out? Oh, it's tonight. Dang it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just that's really the only thing I've been watching. And oh, actually no, I lied. I watched Alone. Whatever season they just released on Netflix. I love that show. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I don't know what it is.
Basically, they take people that love to like hunt and be out in the wilderness and stuff like that, and they take them typically to like an Arctic kind of location, and they drop them off, and it's like usually they'll have like a handful of people, like 14 people or so, and they'll say, okay, whoever, they drop them off like miles and miles and miles apart from each other, and they have to stay in their general area that they selected at the beginning of the show, and they're like, okay, you got to survive as long as you can, and whoever survives the longest wins, and they can only bring a certain amount of stuff with them. So it's pretty crazy. You just watch the strategy of how
there-
they survive and stuff.
Are there family members nearby in like a central area? And
No.
then okay, that's a different.
No, I saw an advertisement for that, but no,
Okay.
this is like a very serious like survivalist show
Gotcha.
where they're like bears and stuff like attacking their like food supplies and all
Oh,
kinds of
okay.
crazy stuff. Yeah,
All
it's
right, I might
cool.
check that out.
Like one dude, he got an arrow through his leg, so he had to leave. I think they're on like day 70 something right now,
Oof.
and the guys have lost like 40 something pounds, and
Oh my god.
yeah, you see like these like survivalist guys that have done this for their entire lives, and they're like breaking down crying because they're just basically in starvation mode, and like their whole life depends on another fish being.
Fat guy wins. I'd be good at this show.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife got super ticked at Chad because we watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms and get to that 4th episode. Great episode. Massive cliffhanger. And my wife was like, I hate it when I can't watch the next one. And there's a giant. So I texted Chad. I was like, my wife hates you now. You're on her you know what list. So, but yeah, no, we'll be anxious to watch that tonight too. But I didn't notice season 3 of Shrinking came out. So if you
I saw that too. I randomly saw that like the other day.
It's so good. It might be Harrison Ford's like best role ever.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy considering he was Indiana Jones and Han Solo. Him in this role, because he's funny. I guess you've never seen a humorous side of Harrison Ford. He's always been pretty serious. Oh my gosh, he's so
like a
good.
serious funny in the show though.
Serious funny. But then so the guy from Ted Lasso, that played Roy, I didn't realize he was like the creator or writer of the show.
What, his sidekick? Lasso sidekick?
No, the older player.
The one with the deep voice.
That played with that's always saying that, dropping F-bombs and things like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he's the writer / director or something like that of Shrinking. I didn't realize. So he's actually in the show itself too. Great character, but he's leaving the show because of the new Ted Lasso, and they told him to. The people on Shrinking told him, yes, go do Ted Lasso instead.
There's going to be another Ted Lasso?
If I'm not mistaken, too, like he wasn't even an actor before Ted Lasso. Like he was just a writer.
he was just a comedian. Yeah, he would do some stand-up comedy stuff too. Yeah, it was wild. So his career's kind of taken off. And I love Shrinking. So, and I thought he was great in Ted Lasso. So, really interesting. But, yeah.
Mine aren't nearly.
Great show. You gotta watch it. Great show.
We've been watching Party Down, which is a 16-year-old show starring Adam Scott.
Adam Scott.
From Parks and Rec and a million other things. Step Brothers. He's the main character. He's basically like he's an actor that had like a 10 minutes of fame. He did a beer commercial, and he basically his tagline is, "Are we having fun yet?" And he became that guy. Basically like, hey, you're that guy from that thing, and it ruined his career. And so now he just works for a catering company in LA, and it's like him and his coworkers, and they're all aspiring actors. And Jane Lynch is in it as well.
Okay.
So she's really good, and there's tons of cameos, like tons of stars that do it. It's really, really, it's kind of a funny show. It's a little stupid, but it's really good. We've been really enjoying it. So there are only 2 seasons, and then they came back 13 years later and did a season in 2023 for some reason. So I'm interested to get to that. I haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm hoping he can quit all the extracurricular activities and get back to making a Severance season.
Yeah. Well, these are old. This is an old thing.
Oh,
I'm just
gotcha.
I forgot all about him in Severance, by the way. Dude, he's a real actor.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is. And then for Valentine's Day, my wife only wanted one thing, and that was to see Wuthering Heights, because she loved the book. It's an Emily Bronte book, so we went to see that. I took her to the movie theater to see that last night. Oof, it was that bad. Guys, if you can avoid that for any reason, please do. It never stops raining where they live in England. Everything is a dark and stormy night. They say I love you a million times. They're just incessant jerks in this movie. I hate that movie. It's a oh my God. When I say nothing happens, it's less happens than in The Notebook. Okay, that's my review of Wuthering.
Interesting.
You're muted, Mike.
I was gonna say I love The Notebook. Don't diss The Notebook.
Oh my God, nothing happens in that movie. But Wuthering Heights, guys out there, unless you really, really love a really twisted and sappy love story, Yeah, and that's the other thing. It gets kind of twisted and weird at one point. So, like, not only am I bored, but now I'm also uncomfortable, and my popcorn is gone. And, you know, I'm just waiting to leave. I couldn't believe, like, I thought 2 hours had passed, and I looked at my phone, and it was only a half hour. It was really rough. That's all I got.
All right.
All right, anything else, gentlemen?
Oh, that's it. Under an hour. We did good.
Nice. This has been
Yeah.
the front office.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front office. The lights are low, the boards are lit, and the dynasty clock is ticking. From the heart of the startup draft to the championship throne, one crew rules the long game. Give it up for the undisputed architects of empire, Dynasty Front!